I contacted George Lucas to inform him of my mission to take on his galaxy. His response was,
"Meetings with Mr. Lucas are by appointment only. Please stop calling this number."
My reply, challenge accepted. Welcome to the WBZ Universe, where I'm creating the next massive sci-fi universe right here on YouTube. The first gauntlet I throw down is Beta Q-Ork. He is from the species the Occum, from the planet Occum Akk. I will put the Google Doc of Beta's profile down in the description. Always refer to those profiles because if something changes during world building, I will update it there. What I love about my design of Beta is how the first drawing inspired not only his story, but also inspired large portions of this universe. I drew him for fun in pencil first. I really didn't have a clear idea of what I was looking for. This is how it works for me half the time. I started out with his head. I had this idea or this concept of this eye that could like rotate around and scan the environment for things. And I started to ask myself why. Why would he have this eye? Why would it be implanted? And what does that mean for his overall species and who he is as a person? At first I thought of an accident, like Cyborg or RoboCop or the $1 Million Man, but you know, that's been done 1,000 times. I wanted his inspiration to not only explain who he is, but also his family, his species, and their place in the universe. And to my surprise, this drawing that I was just doing for fun ended up inspiring the direction of a lot of the WBZ universe. I'm also starting with Beta because of the Occum's place in the Advanced Planet Alliance. These planets would never have been tied together if it weren't for the Occum. The Occum are the most technologically advanced society in the galaxy. Their inventions connect worlds through the vastness of space. Most importantly, the Occum invented CF engines, or controlled fusion engines. Controlled fusion engines allow ships to travel faster than the speed of light. The Occum realized that colliding into molecules at that speed would create plasma, and this would make traveling at those speeds completely impractical if they couldn't overcome that obstacle. The Occum dealt with that problem by repelling molecules away from the front of their ships. This works in a similar way to the way that polarity works. That's our magic system that allows for you to expand and contract the distance between molecules. Once the kinks were worked out, they outfitted ships with those CF engines and started exploring for new worlds. To their luck, the Volaris were the first civilization that they found. I will explain more about the Volaris in the next video, but they invented the window fast travel system, which allows for instant teleportation between two windows throughout the universe. Now that these two species found each other, the galaxy just got much, much smaller, in a very similar way to the way that the internet affected our planet. The Occum, continuously invented other things that made connecting people together of different species possible as well. They invented unmanned satellites that seek out planets, moons, and asteroids to orbit around and work as repeaters to make intergalactic communication possible in most areas. Bugs are tiny devices that attach to your brain, intercept information before your brain receives it, and translate it to your native tongue. This works both for speech, but also for text. And bugs also double as short-range communication devices as well. These inventions and many more made it possible to form the Advanced Planet Alliance and the Milky Way Academy. The Occum are so obsessed with engineering that they actually attempt to engineer themselves with the intention of becoming fully robotic. Piece by piece, they replace parts of their body with robotic prosthetics. They admire the very robots that serve them. They believe humanity is weak and frail, and they would like to transcend human existence by becoming fully robotic themselves. They believe if they can do this, they will be more, and they will be better than their peers. The Occum value intellectualism over all else. The only other planet that they see as their equal is Volaris, and that is because of that window fast travel system. The Occum have never been able to reverse engineer it and figure out how it works. There are a few other species that they tolerate, but they do see most species as an annoyance. The Occum have the canonic or inherited ability to power small devices like robots and computers as long as they're in contact with them. This not only helps a lot with their inventing, but it's also how they power those prosthetics that are implanted into their bodies. To this date, no Occum has managed to become 100% artificial. Many have tried, but nobody has survived the brain replacement. Because of their pursuit of science and engineering, the very wealthy Occum share everything with each other. They don't want any obstacles hindering one another from following those pursuits. By the way, when you see a character peek in like this, it's actually an Easter egg or a hint of the character that I'm going to be doing a profile on next. It'll be at a different time and a different location in every video, but I thought I'd give you something fun to hunt for. Now to Beta Q-Ork himself. He's 15 years old, but he's already the brightest mind in the Occum. This is why he was chosen to be the Occum's representative at the Academy. His mother is the head of technology at the APA, and his father is the chief technology officer at the Milky Way Academy. Even though these are the two highest honors an Occum can receive, Beta has already been named the head of his family, and this is because he's intellectually superior to his parents. This is a cultural thing, and it actually makes perfect sense to the Occum. His parents actually ask him for permission when it comes to family matters. Beta and his family are celebrities to his people, and he finds this extremely annoying. He doesn't like any distractions that take him away from his intellectual pursuits. To date, Beta is way ahead of the curve. He has already replaced 62% of his body with artificial prosthetics. Both legs have been replaced with hydraulic power, granting him the ability to jump 20 feet in the air and the strength to support the weight of the rest of his prosthetics. His right arm is a masterpiece. Increased strength, a large variety of projectiles that can be shot out, including his own fist, tracking bugs, minor explosives, shockwave grenades, and more. His other arm is assisted with external prosthetics. He knows that he won't graduate if he can't use polarity in at least one arm, but he plans on replacing that arm as well after graduation. His right eye has been replaced with an optical prosthetic that can process information in many different ways. It can zoom in great distances, it can see any spectrum of light, such as infrared, night vision, etc. He has a third robotic limb that comes from his back. This limb is equipped with a laser that can both cut metal and other materials, as well as weld things together. This aids him greatly in inventing. The only reason Beta agreed to join the Academy was for his legacy. Legacy is the most important thing to him. He wants to be revered as the galaxy's greatest inventor. Due to their advanced technology, the planet Occum Akk is heavily defended. No ship could get near it without their express permission. But access to the other members of the APA is vital in their pursuits of advancing their technology. Remaining one of the two most influential races in the APA is viewed as a necessity. The Volaris and the Occum sit atop the APA, not officially like US and Russia with NATO, but unofficially. This is both because of the technology that they provide the other members, but also because of the legacy from tying the different planets together. If the Occum or the Volaris were to cut their technology off from the other members, the APA would cease to exist. Luckily for the other planets, both species feel it is in their best financial interests to keep the APA running as smoothly as possible. For the Occum, the APA is both a wealth of information and consumers. Nearly every ship and a large portion of the technology used throughout the APA is Occum technology, and they use those funds to further their engineering quests. Thank you, and here's more from the WBZ Universe.
Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin, showstopper, top dog, God vibe, I'm the kingpin.